Everybody, welcome to this live. I'm trying not to get the neighbor's house in the background. I'm sure they don't really want to be on my tarot video, right? So welcome. If you're just joining, hopefully you're enjoying a very nice, beautiful, sunny day as I am. I went out and got some reinforcements before our next upcoming storm that we're supposed to get coming through, okay? So just keep a heads up. I know it's like, oh, the weather's great, blah, blah, and then, but that's kind of this time of year, then it can like switch like that, right? And then all of a sudden it's like, oh crap. You know what I mean? You don't want to be 30 minutes out from shelter. You know what I mean? When the stuff starts to go down. So just be smart, right? Especially as we head into the weekend. Tomorrow's a full moon. I was kind of holding off on doing some readings a little bit just because I am working on, since it is spring, spring upon us here. I think next Friday is actually the first official day of spring. So we have this full moon tomorrow. We have the spring equinox then coming up, right? And we also have this eclipse happening and some other planetary stuff through April. So, yeah. If it feels like there's a lot to do, it's because maybe there's a lot going on. Right. Okay. Yeah. I get it when you're like, yeah, let's just go to the airport. We're not staying another minute in this house. Okay. Because if you stay, then you're going to find something else to do, right? That's just what we do, right, collective? So part of the message today is, oh, the places you'll go. You know, you can literally go as far as you want. And part of this message was coming through from a couple days ago when I was meditating. I was walking with my dog. And again, I was thinking about my one grandfather that served in World War II over in Germany. And he was a wee 22 years old. When I was 22 years old, I was just getting my professional drinking certificate from college, right? They say D's get degrees. I actually had good grades in college, so I, passed just fine with my undergraduate degree in communication. Uh, I've always been interested in nonverbal communication, ironically, and then I get into this kind of thing, which some people say it's psychic, some people say it's telepathic, some people just say it's just, having good powers of observation and discernment, right? And, reading between the lines sometimes, okay? So, but, it's easy to play the game if you just follow the rules and don't try and hurt anybody as well. People want to make life really difficult, and it doesn't have to be, right? It's when they start taking these shortcuts, and it's like, oh, the places we'll go. Well, what if we go down this way? Well, it says it's under repair. Well, but it looks like it's shorter. Yeah, and then you run into the repair, and then you have to sit there an extra hour, right? And then you're late for the show, and then somebody's annoyed, right? You ever done that before? So, sometimes staying on the path, even though it might look like a little drudgery, it might look a little boring, right? Can still be leading us to the right place that we need to go, right? Because if we're following the rules, if we're following what our purpose in life is, right? Hello to the chat, folks. Thank you. It is one of my Billy String shirts. I really do like it because it has the dove with the peace, whole symbol kind of thing, and it's a feminine shirt too for for concert garb. It has some feminine friendly colors on it and stuff. So anyway, I'm also wearing. I got these. They have the thing with the pockets, the shorts with the pockets. So if you're just walking the dog and just need to throw, you don't want to have your whole purse, just throw your keys in there. And I got a lighter in this one right now. I had a doggy bag ready to go. So yeah, that's part of the message today. So, think of all the places you can go. I'm sure my grandfather at the age of 22, when he got drafted into the military, had probably, never been on a plane before, had never been out of the state before, right? And then all of a sudden he finds himself on the opposite side of the world, right? Being asked to kill people that he doesn't know, right? For a cause, right? Understandably. But at the same time, it's a world view shift that other people are living differently than we are, right? A lot of us are lucky to live in peaceful situations, right? We're not asked to go on to the other side of the world and blow crap up that's been there for centuries that is beautiful and should be protected, right? Um, he also always used to tell me that he killed 2 Nazis, so he was very proud of that. Like, he used to really shout it through I mean, the whole house could hear him. You know what I mean? Like, everybody in that house knew that he killed 2 fucking Nazis, too. I'm sure one of my skis bag relatives have the medals or melted it down for gold. He always told me that those were going to be mine someday. But when you have a collective, you know what I mean? What do you need to release? Yeah, sometimes it's releasing those other family members that would do us harm in those situations, right? That really don't have our back. They say, "Oh yeah, that's a great story. Now give me the gold," right? And anything's for sale, right? It's like, I don't know if I really want to resell Nazi gold. You know what I mean? Maybe I just wanted to let it sit there for eternity. You know what I mean? Put it in a museum somewhere and say, yeah, look at this shit my grandfather had to peel off 2 fucking dead Germans on the other side of the world that he'd never met before in his entire life, right? And it's weird, we have German ancestry in us, so those could have been his cousins or something weird. uh but their way of living and what they were doing was not right, you know so people were asked to do a tough job, just like we are asked to do a tough job every day that we get up, right? Choosing to see the light, right? Choosing to see the opportunity we have in front of us, you know choosing to see that we can build things instead of just blow stuff up and destroy and make other people's lives a living hell, right? Okay. Um, yeah, I'm in one of them riled up moods too, because I just saw that Dateline the other day about the young actress whose mother coaxed her into murdering her, stepdad or whatever. It was so disgusting. And, of course, then the girl's on trial for this murder. And, by that time you can see she's a real terrible actress by then. And, anyway, yeah, the cops saw right through that. They got the right person, let me tell you. You can hear the sirens. Yeah, that lady ain't getting out. She threw her whole life away, basically, because her, I think, mother, put this idea in her head, and her being an actress, that she thought, oh, well, I can probably get away with this, right? And it'll benefit me as well. That's the thing. There's people that actually think this stuff up. They're on Dateline. And a lot of them are going away to jail for a very long time. And you know what? This woman's mother got up there on the stand, was like, she even told the cop, she's like, I'm glad that my ex is dead, blah, blah, blah. You know what? This woman, she looked like a lazy piece of shit. Like she would never get up and work for a fucking dime in her fucking life. You know what I mean? Like she's too good to go and get like a fast food worker job, somebody like that. Yeah, but she obviously eats a lot of it. You know what I mean? Like, she wasn't on no fucking mobility scooter, if you know what I'm saying, okay? These are the type of people. They will fucking talk and talk and talk and try and snow you. It was amazing, this story, though, this Dateline story, because there was a notary of the public who was assigned to go over to that house to sign some paperwork on behalf of a family. It was a family matter, right? They're trying to get signatures. Yeah, anyway. And so they put this notary right in the middle of it. So she saw the whole thing. So they had an eyewitness too to this murder. That's how fucking stupid these people are. But that notary, it's a miracle she survived, right? And you know what else survived? Video footage from somebody else's cell phone. Yeah, showing that this woman shot this guy when he was not even like to the door yet. You know what I mean? Like, yeah, my ex, he broke down 4 doors in my house. Okay, thankfully the police arrived in time. Okay, because the time before, when he got his hands on me, he threw me around like a fucking rag doll. I mean, I'm only 5'6". He's a 6'3" ex-Marine with military training. You know, you do the math. You do the math. Okay. I ran track and field, you know. Like, come on. I did track and field and cheerleading, folks. Come on. So, releasing these things that other people have done that has been crap, right? Because we are not crap. We are choosing to see the light of the day. We're choosing to keep going, right? I went to the store and stocked up. You know, somebody else is like, well, it's so expensive. I can't do this. I can't do that. I can't do it. They're just going to sit around bitching all day about the price of shit, never go even fucking apply for a single job. Okay? So release the thought that where you're going, that anybody else needs to be the Klingon. Stage 5 clinger. Stage 5 clinger. Okay? They can catch their own ride if they can ever afford one. These people can't even afford their own Ubers or taxis. Okay? They can't even hardly afford a bus ticket. Right? And of course, they're too proud to actually get on the bus. Right? Really? The whole neighborhood's going on here. You know, these dogs hear the sirens and everybody's going, Kona. Anyway, take time to breathe out. Yes. Now, you know, things to release. You know, now, you know, when I talk to my ancestors, I think about, you know, my grandfather and what he might have done in a situation. You know, he was kind of a hard ass too in life. You know, he didn't exactly treat my dad right, and there was a lot of things. But you know, when I look back, and it's like, okay, what is my age now, knowing what I know versus what they knew then? Okay? You know, you can't hold this against people forever, or it really will poison you on the inside. And you got to realize, you know, we are fallible, you know, human beings, all learning. Okay? So release the expectation of needing to be perfect. Okay? You know, sometimes doing one good thing is maybe the best we're going to do in life at that moment, right? And you have to be satisfied with that. And if you're going to learn something, learn the next time. Like that one gal, she's going to be sitting in jail for a very, very, very long time learning. You know what? I think they only charge her with like man 2 or something. She's going to be out like in 5 years or something. Yeah, fellas, she's going to be on those dating profiles, right? And I'm single. Anyway, moving on, right? Release it, ladies. Release it. Release it. Release the need to say, oh, but I'm a good woman. Oh, but I'm not going to murder you. If they can't figure that shit out by now, really? I mean, how freaking closed are these people's eyes now? Come on. Come on. Release, you know, you don't, okay, so like that notary. Here's what I'm going to tell you. You don't need to put yourself in the middle just to be speaking the truth. You might have a platform, maybe you have a blog, maybe you have a kind of a business where you help motivate, challenge, or you know, coach others, right, based upon what you have learned. That doesn't mean you're going and stepping in front of, right, somebody else. The night that I got my ass beat up and thrown around this house like a rag doll by my ex-Marine boyfriend is because I stepped in between him and my vehicle that he was trying to steal. Yeah. I was in such shock that I didn't even tell the officers that, you know, but I did agree to that. I made contact with him as well, so they hauled me off to jail as well, which I had to go to the judge later and get that all taken off in a way. But like, really? You know, but again, in retrospect, right? So, okay, did everything happen in that moment, you know, the way that maybe it could have best for me? No. Now that looking back, have learned those lessons, and you know what else? I can release the understanding that, and thinking that this person that did that to me showed any remorse, because he didn't show any remorse, because I listened to his mouth the entire ride from this place right here where the fight happened, right, all the way to the county jail, right, where he was chewing me out again, you know, and he was chewing me out while he was beating me up too, right? Release thinking that that's okay. Release thinking that that's okay for anybody to ever treat you that way, ever, for any reason, really. You know? Yeah. You know, and he wasn't paying me a lick of rent. Like, yeah. Sometimes we want things to work, and sometimes we just need to release the expectation. Don't date potential. That's what a lot of the lady bloggers out there say now. They don't need cards to tell you don't date potential, right? Mm-hmm. Oh, well, he was in the service. I bet he's a stand-up guy. Yeah. Oh, they got kids. I bet they're responsible. Yeah. Then you start to get to know somebody. And then the mask starts to fall, right? Then you see all the nitty gritty. Mm-hmm. And you see it's more gritty than anything else, right? And then that's when we want to run away. Let me tell you, run, run, run. I even talked to one of my college roommates about a fight that me and him had had, and she said like, run. And I thought, nah, it's just him, and he was just venting his temper. Like, that'll never happen again. No, it gets worse because nobody's there to stop and check, right? And who's gonna stop and check somebody that again, that means he has 9 inches on me wingspan wise. I'm the one that needs to check that. Somebody in the military should have checked his ass a long time ago. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? So, collective, congratulate yourself. So this kind of gets us in that, like, ooh, something's gonna happen, right? Take time to breathe out. Take time to let whatever that happened go. Because these people will be getting theirs. They will be found out. Their time does run out eventually. You are good enough, yeah, right? So, collective, one of the things that by following the 5-minute rule, okay, and that's going to be a new video out on my Feel Better Guru page, okay? So, practicing that 5-minute rule is going to help you feel this. You are good enough, okay? Because I guarantee you, somewhere in your life, there is going to be like some core memory unlocked when you're like, yeah, I was feeling pretty good that day, right? Or I was feeling happy that day when this happened, or when I was just outside enjoying life, right? You're good enough to do that. That's all you need to be doing. You don't need to be doing any more. You don't need to, run a marathon to prove that you're a runner, right? You don't need to perform down at the local speedway in front of everybody to prove that you are a singer or whatever, right? Sure, do we get involved in these types of things in our community? Sure, does that become part of our life? But it shouldn't be the only thing in our lives either, okay? So, think about that from a higher perspective. Okay, and I think that's part of what, like, the fasting season, the Lenten season, like Ramadan's going on right now, Lenten season's going on right now. Thank God there's some freaking ceasefire somewhere. People aren't blowing shit up. I mean, what's left to blow up, people? Pretty soon it's just going to be body collection. Is this what we're going for? Have we, did that 22-year-old, full of spit and whatever, you know what I mean, from Illinois, did he go over there to watch us do it all over again? And survive the fucker too? You know how many people died on the beaches? Okay, we don't all make it. We don't make it. Celebrate it when you do. Celebrate it when you do. Okay? It's like, the little kids steal a piece of candy and then they run away from the store and then they hide and they're huffing and puffing. Take time to breathe out. Yeah, it's kind of like, yeah, we made it around the corner. We made it around the corner. We're coming out of this winter lull, right? People are starting to plant. My mom already sent me pictures of her friggin' seedlings that are coming up, you know? Am I on the ball like that? No. I got other things I'm thinking about right now. But we're all a work in progress, aren't we? Okay? So remember that when you start doubting things. Okay? Um, when I went to the med spa the other day and I was talking to the lady, and she said one of her kids does these little like stop animation, like cartoon, like from whatever, from figures of some sort. And I was like, oh, does he have those on YouTube? And she's like, yeah. She's like, he hasn't really edited, blah, blah. And I was like, it doesn't have to be perfect, right? Some of us, we have this, idea in our heads, but that idea in our heads sometimes actually needs the input of other people. And we're not going to get there in a silo, right? So you have to start somewhere. You're the one that has to plant that seed, and you're good enough to do it. God would not have put you here if you did not have the potential, right? But it's up to you to capitalize on that potential. Okay? But, a lot of us are natural born teachers and leaders, but, that doesn't mean that you have to kick their ass the entire marathon. That's why at a certain point we get to just go like this from the side and say, yay, you can do it. You can do it, right? Yeah, your commitment is being tested. Okay. So you could be literally at the precipice. All right. Let me get some light worker cards. I think this is going to help you guys more than a tarot as it comes through this full moon stuff. It's just there's a lot of confusing energies out there, and it's because there are people that are trying to convince you of what you already know to be true, to be something other than what it is. Okay. So instead of listening to all that, this is the time where you're like, I don't think I need to read another book about that. I don't think I need to watch another video about that topic. You know what I mean? Like, I was just at the store today. I saw the price of this and that. La 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 la. I'm good. I'm calling it a day. Okay, and then you say take time to breathe out. Okay, so we only have 24 hours in a day, right? So it was so funny. Somebody posted that for International Women's Day, it happened to be on daylight savings time, where it was like, oh, of course, we're so symbolic. We're Women's Day celebrated, where we only get 23 hours to accomplish what we need to have 24, right? Like, nope, you're not getting it. Well, that's just the point. That's just the point of what I said. So, yeah, it's not going to be perfect, right? Because we don't have everything. We're not meant to work in silos. Okay? 1,000 points of light. Yeah, it all ties in together. Okay? So, releasing perfectionism, yeah, you can go very far if you release the need to be perfect, right? If everything has to be perfect, are you ever going to release it, right? Talk about a perfect day, though. I mean, this is so amazing. We've had several days of this. It's been so nice, especially after, being stuck in the winter. Council of Light, Divine Orchestration, Helpers in the Subtle Realms. Okay. So, in terms of needing to release the thought that one of your ancestors who didn't get along with so and so in the family, blah blah, well, maybe you and them had kind of like a special little connection, you know what I mean, that kind of thing. Okay, so you can still lean on that without um you know digging into their past situation. All right, is what I want to say. And part of that is learning, paying attention to history, Yeah, it's a subject they teach in school, history. What's your own personal history? What's your what's your family history? Okay? There might be things in that family history you need to let go of. And then there's things that are like, you know what, they did okay that time. Thanks, Gramps, for killing those fucking Nazis for me, because I would have a real problem having to go over there on my fucking vacation after getting on an 8-hour flight, having to pop off a motherfucker. Okay? That's pretty fucking annoying. And I bet they flew coach, too. It wasn't like economy plus or business class, okay? Anyway. Yeah. So thank you. Ain't nothing wrong with thanking the ancestors. If you don't know who your ancestors are, just thank God. Thank the heavens above, right? Yeah, go ahead and take that lead. It's okay. It's okay. You know, people are, oh, you're doing voodoo. You're trying to talk to the dead. You're trying to raise the dead. No, I'm trying to remember what the fucking dead said so I don't repeat it in modern fucking history like a goddamn moron, nincompoop, like some of the karmics out there who act like they never been to school before and they never been out in public before, and you know what I mean? They want to act all fucking confused. Guess you need to go back, like this lady I worked with, she would be like, guess you need to go back to kindergarten, is what she would say. And it's like, yeah, the older you get, the truer it gets, for some folks, don't it? You know me, I like to go to the store, I like to get my stuff done and walk my dog and come back home and, you know, do my spiritual videos or whatever I need to be doing for work, right? And pay my motherfucking bills, right? Not worried about what he said and they said and do wop, do wang, hoo, ya, right? If it ain't happening over at my house, I don't care much as long as it's going on between fucking adults. You understand what I'm saying? I mean, some of these folks, you wonder why they got all these goddamn kids, because they're not grown enough to even go in and buy a fucking thing of condoms for themselves. But oh yeah, man, we'd like to get it on. Do you even know what that is, sir, ma'am? Do we even really know? I mean, statistically speaking, if you look up the orgasm rate, I'm just saying, some of y'all could use some practice on people other than yourselves. Yeah, why do you think some of these men have to keep dating them younger and younger and dumber, right? Because some of us already learned what these people is about. You know, some of them just get better at lying about it, right? Well, that one ex, you know, that it was almost like, you know, playing detective, because, you know, he'd say something and I'd just be like, you know, it's like, yeah. And I knew he was lying I knew he was lying right through his teeth, but what am I going to want me to do? Get out of my house right now. I didn't have the exact proof, but you know what I mean? When the time came, though, I packed up his shit and, you know, left it at his friend Donnie's house. She later went missing, by the way. Yeah. Coincidence? Who's fucking stupid now? Huh? Who's stupid now? It ain't me and it ain't Donnie. Imarama, what or where are you being called to journey to? Yeah, that's where you're going to breathe out. So for some of you, this could literally be a vacation, quite simply. It could be spring break coming up if you've not already had your spring break. You know, something of that nature where it's like a retreat for you. Okay. You know, and maybe there's a room in your house, maybe there's a closet in your house, something like this where you can, you know, journal or read your favorite author or, you know, work on some sewing projects. You know, those are some more wintertime indoor activities, obviously, right? Um, you know, and if you live in more of an urban area, you know, maybe you're being asked to kind of explore some of those areas outside of the urban landscape, right? um you know, like camping, like I didn't, you know, like I didn't grow up going camping, and now I got a ridiculous RV, you know what I mean? Cost me out the nose, but you know, I rent it out too, so it helps, you know, offset some of the costs. You know, you got to be, again, you got to be smart about these things, right? um you know, God gave us a brain to use, right? He didn't put it in there just for us to poke at it and smush it and ride on roller coasters and get G-force gravity brain damage, right? You know, some fun TBI versus getting thrown around the house by a dumb fucking Marine that just wants to go pick up drugs, right? I know. It's pathetic. The Great Gathering, it's all coming together. Intuitive hit Soul Tribe. I was getting this Soul Tribe message before the reading, and I was gonna say something like, you know, like the hey Soul Tribe or hey, you know, Soul Family type stuff. But I get it, man, because look, I've had people that are like, oh yeah, she's like family, and it's like, yeah, after the way you treated me, don't call me your family. No, I'm not your family. Okay. So, you know, people are like, yeah, but we're family. Yeah, we're not really. You're not good enough to be in my family. Bro, sis, whatever. And I don't care what your job is or what car you drive or even if you have a car. Okay? That has nothing to do with if you're good enough to be in my soul tribe, my soul family, right? Because those are the people that would not intend harm to me, another member of the collective. It's very simple, isn't it? Golden fucking rule. And how many people fuck that up every fucking day? And it's so simple. I mean, isn't that, you know, what, the first or second commandment? Treat others as you would unto God. So, when you start paying attention to your intuition collective, you're going to start seeing the people that you're actually meant to be talking to, right? The people you're actually meant to be dealing with. This network of people, this network of family, if you will, right? Yeah, it's like, yeah, don't call me your fucking Charles Manson fucking weirdo family. I'm not family fam, you know what I mean? But I get it, part of the scene, you know, sometimes you walk around people like, hey, what's up, fam? You know, just trying to be nice and cordial, and that's how it's supposed to be, right? So again, get back to that. Get back to that. Don't let them take that away from you. Don't let someone else's history, their personal history, take that away from you. Okay? Even the demons in our lives at some point in time have maybe made a contribution, right? That they decided to say, you know what? I'm finally going to stand on business for once in my life. I'm not just going to do what everybody else wants me to do. And maybe, yeah, right? And that therein made the difference, right? The Robert Frost poem. Okay? All right. Whew, yeah, initiation, rite of passage, crossing the threshold. You know, I made a TikTok the other day talking about like guys in strip joints, and I feel like that's kind of like a rite of passage for a lot of people, especially the male species, right? You know, going to the nudie bar. So I feel like collective, yeah, whatever, you know, expectations, things that you have in your head that really maybe belong to somebody else, release that and let the rites of passages come to you and use your intuition. And then you're going to say, you know, am I choosing the angel or the devil? It all usually boils down to some very simple things at the end of the day, right? Don't be afraid to release and walk away if the situation's not serving you. Trust me, you will find new friends, better friends, you know? And sometimes it's releasing and mourning what we never really had, right? That's why a lot of people have a hard time getting out of abusive, narcissistic relationships, right? Because there is some core damage that has been done where people think they are not good enough to have a good relationship. And that is simply not true. But we need to start choosing better for ourselves, right? And that starts day one of our healing, basically, is when we say, I need something better for myself, right? Does that person have the potential maybe someday, you know, maybe in Luciferian hell? I don't know. Dante's got like 9 circles somewhere. I haven't been through all of them. I mean, maybe I have. You know what I mean? I don't need to revisit it right now. I'm living the good life because I'm good enough. I already chose better, right? Okay. All right. Thank you everybody for being kind to each other in the chat today. Please do like the video if you enjoyed this message. Remember, you do not have to be a subscriber in order to like the video, okay? But if you are a subscriber, it does help pass those messages around as well to other folks who may need that good juju out there, might need that little I got it down in the sunshine. What's that? In that movie Easy A, you know, when they say she's sleeping around with the whole town or whatever. And then she's like going out with these she's going out with these guys and they're giving her like these little like store gift cards and stuff. He's like, I got like $40 to Lowe's. She's like which, you know, I'm in a certain decade of life. You know, if you're giving me a gift card to a home improvement store, I'm going to be spending that in a heartbeat, right? I will be there. Okay. You know, I still like my Ulta and stuff like that too, but you know what I mean? Sometimes a gal just has needs. Anyway, thank you everybody for joining. Until next time, please do manifest wisely and enjoy our full moon eclipse coming up. Full moon is starting, of course, tomorrow. Friday will be visible tonight, and the blood moon eclipse is over the course of the next few days as well. And heads up with the weather, always just be smart out there when you're out viewing your nice eclipse, you know, so you don't have some storm rolling in the next 10 minutes, okay? Yeah, shelter from the storm, Bob Dylan. All right, peace out. Yes.